Thanks, Stephanie. So, for those who don't know, EDC has been taking place in LA for over a decade. And in 2010, the event took place at the LA Coliseum over 2 days. And over the 2 days, there were over 160,000 people attending this event. And as you can see, it was packed.
Should we get the lights?
You don't need to. And at this event, huge acts, including Moby, Deadmau5, Cascade. So this is, a huge event. But unfortunately, as Stephanie mentioned, someone did die. And it was a 15-year-old. And she did die of MDMA intoxication. So as a result of all this, the LA County Board of Supervisors tasked the Department of Public Health and Health Services to convene a rave task force to address, the issues surrounding these large electronic music events and to make them safer in terms of public health and safety for the attendees. And EDC, over 100 people were arrested mainly for drug-related offenses, and also over 100 were sent to DERs. They were transported for mainly, alcohol and MDMA-related overdose symptoms. So the rave task force was convened, and a lot of major public entities were involved, including LAPD, that's the police department, the fire department, sheriff's department, Department of Mental Health, UCLA, USC representatives, schools were involved, as well as the promoters and members from the nightlife industry, so to speak. And 4 committees were formed. One was on harm reduction, which Public Health led, and this was eventually combined with Public Education Committee. And there was also a medical response committee that was led by the Department of Health Services and Emergency Response, and also a site safety committee that was led by law enforcement, LAPD. So over the course of 4 months, the groups met and basically convened to develop these recommendations to present to the Board of Supervisors. And I'm just going to touch upon, there are a lot of recommendations, so I'm just, in the interest of time, I'm going to speed through them and so touch about some of the major ones. There were venue-related recommendations. So as you can see, the events were planned using the ICS model, so it's very organized. We had an incident command center, and so the law enforcement were there, and everything was monitored and reported through this one command center. Big change was that the events, the recommendation was to increase the attendance to be limited to folks over 18 years old. EDC, the people under 18, a lot of high schoolers, and the person that died was only 15. So I think this is really important because kids are kids, and they shouldn't be at these events. So move forward. So the enforcement of the 18+ age limit, and also the stopping the events at 2 o'clock. I think EDC was 4 a.m., so concerted effort was made to recommend that these events close down at 2 o'clock. It's consistent to when bars usually close down. There was a 60-minute cool down sort of time frame after the event ended, and this was to enable people to sort of sober up. At EDC, as soon as the event ended, people were sort of cattled out of the event, and and that's, I think, very dangerous. There was an effort to sort of increase the stage protection and also the perimeter fencing, making it safer. EDC I don't know if a lot of you have seen footage at YouTube. There was a lot of people rushing the fences and crashing it. And also, on the perimeters, there were people like 100 people roaming it, and then they would find a weak spot and basically, you know, rush the perimeter and like break in. So there was measures made to recommend that, you know, the perimeter was safer so that people wouldn't get hurt. A lot of people that were transported because of falls and, you know, and getting hurt from jumping over or getting crushed from when the barriers collapsed inside the venue. There was a recommendation to place amnesty boxes at the events, and this was something that I don't think has been done in the US before. It's been done in the UK. This is in hopes that people can drop off narcotics or drugs